Hi everyone, welcome back to the Faithful You Knitting podcast and welcome back to Wales. My name's Hazel and this is a knitting podcast, predominantly knitting, but sometimes spinning, sometimes weaving, sometimes hand dyeing and whatever takes my fancy at the time. So today we're having a snow day. We've had a bit of snow on the ground. It's been snowing all morning, but it's just starting to melt now. But I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a midweek vlog for you. I've been talking for ages about wanting to do a stash video and show you my stash. And today seemed like as good a day as any to do that. I've been watching Emily Kate Makes and Retro Claws, and they've been doing a stash challenge where they write down everything they've got in their stash, how many meters they've got, what the yarn is, how many grams they've got. And they're trying to, everything that they make throughout the next year, they're going to be making from stash. Now, I've been doing this since August 2021. The last thing I bought was some sheepies yarn, and I haven't bought anything since. So the only thing I have bought, confession time, is some wool that I found in the charity shop. It was 100% Jacob wool and some Icelandic wool. And it was 49p a ball, so I bought that. I spent £11 on it, but that's all I've bought since August 2021. So what I thought I'd do today is I thought that I would go through my stash. I would show you some bits of my stash, and then I'll spend the rest of the day today going through my stash, writing it all down. And then when I do a podcast on Sunday, because I have got some things to show you, and I've got some happy mail to show you as well from a lovely viewer called Valerie. And I thought that I would go through that with you again on Sunday. So today I'm in the kitchen. I've got the fire on, and I thought the best place we could start today is in the kitchen cupboard, because I have it everywhere. I have it in the kitchen. I have it in a big massive basket that's in the hall. It's usually kept down the side of the couch for out of the way. I also have it in the garage, in a big plastic box in the garage, which is where I keep all my acrylic single balls of yarn. And then if I want to crochet a crochet blanket or a crochet project, I can just go to that box, pick out the yarn that I want, and get on with that project. I've also got it under the stairs, I've got it under the bed, so I have it everywhere. And that's not including what I've got in my hand spun yarn in the garage, which is to go on my Etsy shop, and also all the fibre that I've got of sheep fleece. I have it everywhere. I can't believe how much I've got sometimes. And I know I'm going to be surprised when I tally it all up and see how much I've got. But some of it I've had for 15, 20 years, and it just needs to go, really. And I'd rather put it into a project, and maybe even the projects that it was earmarked for, and get it knit and get wearing it. So yeah, so that's the plan for today. So the first place we're going to start is the kitchen cupboard, which is just over there. And then we're going to make our way into the hall and have a look in the hall cupboard. And then we're going to make our way upstairs and have a look in the yarn cupboard on the landing and in my suitcases and bags upstairs. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to turn the camera around. We're going to get what's in the cupboard, have a look in there, and make our way round and see what else we can find. Right, so this is the kitchen cupboards. This is where I keep some of my yarns. On this shelf here, I've got my weaving threads in this box, and then we've got 2 boxes of fabric. I've got some fibre in here that's from Fibre Hut. But up the top is where I keep my yarns. Now some of these here I've had for 20 years or more. I bought them when I was working in the wool shop. So this is some Stylecraft Aran, which is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. I've got a purpley colour as well. In this bag here I've got some bits and bobs of threads from knitted projects and things that are left over. So that's in that bag. Just little balls of yarn like this. Just things that are left. This is a bit of Gotland off my Magnolia Bloom sweater. Some commercial. Some other bits. So they get kept in there. That's for an impromptu little project that might need mini skeins. So that's that. I have some Peyton's wool here, which is 50% wool, 50% acrylic. And that is called Stone, I think. I think that was what they called it. In this one here, I've got some Rowan wool and some mohair. That one there. And then we've got some Italian wool as well. Got more of that somewhere. And some mohair. Gets kept in my Gap bag. And then this McDonald's, just a McDonald's paper bag for my meal. We've got some Cedar Sky yarn. Got some baby yarn. I've got some vintage double knit acrylic and wool. And this is my gingerbread sweater skeins, which are kept in there as well, so I know where they are. Oh, just ripping the bag. So they get kept in there, and then they get kept up there. Excuse the rustling. I've got a couple of projects stored in this bag here. This is that project that I don't know whether to undo or not, that nice cable jumper. So that stays there. And then that's my Attic 24 blanket there, so that lives there. So that's it in that cupboard. My nice little toadstool handle. Here is my basket that I usually keep in the front room at the side of the couch. There's got some bits of hand spun in that need to go back in the yarn cupboard upstairs. It's got that 100% Jacob wool that I got in the charity shop in there. It's got my Lopi that's left from my fox sweater that I'm going to weigh in a minute. So I want to see what's on these balls because they're only part balls. And I want to see if there's enough for another project. So that's those. I've got some hand spun as well. And then if we take all this hand spun out, we've then got another bag here, which has got some Tweedy yarn by Cedar. That was a jumper that I've undone to reclaim the yarn. These are just bits and bobs of projects that I've started and undone and started again. Down there's some more yarn to be put away. There's the rest of that Lopi as well. I've got 5 balls of that left. So enough for another project. Some more bits and bobs down there. So all this has got to go away. Back it where it normally goes. Then I've got one of those bags from Wool Warehouse, which is probably off the Attic 24 blanket. And in here I've got some hand spun yarn, some hand dyed yarns, and some odd bits of acrylic. And some other odd bits and bobs that need to go away. That's the remains of my Birkin sweater. Some of that left. So all that's got to go upstairs and get put away. So we'll pop that back in the basket. All that with those locks in. So now we'll have a look in the cupboard under the stairs and I'll show you what's under there. Now this is another place I keep my yarn and my fabric, which is under the stairs. There we go, let's put the light on. Now we've got a mouse that visits, or did visit, I'm not sure if he's gone now. So I've got everything in bags, for the moths and for that. But I've got some Cedar click here, I think that's what it is. Got some more click chunky. Some more Peru. I had a full 10 ball pack, which I bought when I worked in the wool shop. So yeah, I've got enough for a cardigan because I have knit a big chunky cardigan out of it before, and I wore it and wore it and wore it, and then decided I wanted to save the yarn, so I undid the sweater to keep the yarn. I've got this tweedy chunky, which is Serdar as well, which is a jumper weight of that. I think there's 9 balls of that. There's 4 in that one. 5, yeah, there's 9 balls of that. I've got this one, which is also a click chunky. I had 15 balls. I knit something again, hated it, undid it, put the wool back in stash. That was the theme of mine when I first learned to knit. Didn't like something, I undid it. And that's the rest of that escape chunky. So yeah, I undid things and put things back in stash. There's some more of that tweedy yarn there. I've got some more in the front room. So yeah, I'll put that back away in a minute. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got a lot of wool, and I haven't shown you upstairs yet. Oh, I've just spotted another bag, just a sec. I've just spotted another ball that was hanging up on a hook on the wall. So I'll just show you that. Yeah, you might find it more interesting than the other one. So there's a lot in that basket. Got you perched on top of a glass candle. So shall I just turn you around and show you the view while I'm here? Can you see the snow? So yeah, I've got you perched on a candle and a book. I found these in the charity shop, 2 years ago now. Probably one of the last things I bought. And it's 100%, 100% wool, 70% mohair, 30% wool. And it's this gorgeous riot of colour. I'm thinking of a cardigan because I've got 10 balls. Look at that, £4 in the charity shop. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I've got 10 balls of it. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. So I just love the colours. I think the colours are beautiful. Look at those colours. So that's that one. And then the big bonus, when I found it, was this one. Ashford weaving yarn. Now, these were £5.75 a ball when the person bought them. Now, I've no idea when they bought them. 100% pure New Zealand wool. Look at that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of that. Look at that. Happy lady. So I've got 6 of them. But not only that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of this one as well. Look at this. And that. So that's the Ashford weaving yarn. But not only did he sell me that, but he sold me this as well. Can you see the label? And it's 50% camel, 50% lamb's wool. And he sold me that as well. All in the same sale. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 balls. 18 20-gram balls. And it's 50% camel, 50% lamb's wool. Now, do you know what? He sold me the whole bag. That was £4. I think it was for £15 for the lot. And that was including all this, from what I can remember. So I was a very, very happy lady. Now it does help that I know the lad in the charity shop. But that aside, that was an absolute bargain. I think I got it for about 15 quid for the lot. That's probably about £100 worth of yarn in there. Not to be scoffed at. You can tell I enjoy wool, can't you? And you can also see that I don't need to buy any more yarn just at the moment. So let's go and have a look upstairs and I'll show you what I've got upstairs. Right, so you've seen this cupboard before. I did a video about this. And, oh, I've just found another ball of that yarn I've just shown you, look, in there. So I must have 20 balls of that. But yeah, this is my hand spun. So I need to go through all this and mark out the meterage of these. This is more commercial, 100% wool. The Shills-Adair stuff in here, which is on this side. This is Peyton's, 100% wool. There's some natural dyed yarns in here. There's these, which you get for 50p from Wonderwool. Then there's a little bit of commercial in here, which is Rico. Got a few colours of that. And then this is my hand spun natural colours down here. This is a Shills-Adair. This is beautiful. Look at the colour of that. It's gorgeous. This is a Shills-Adair, and that's to go with the sweater that I was just talking about, the cable one. We don't know whether to undo it. I was waiting to find the pattern. So it's even got our old label on, look. So that's that. So I've got all this cupboard to go through, to measure and to weigh. So we'll shut that away. If you want to have a look at the video about what I've got in that, I'll put a link in the I button. Right, so this is another way I keep my wool, and I've got these bags. This is just an Avon bag that I bought years ago, and this one has got my odd balls of 100% wool. They need to really be in another case. I do need to get hold of another case. But yeah, there's some nice yarns in here. There's some jumper weight yarn of Jameson Smith. This is Rabbit Fair. I've got a few different ones of them. I've got that colour, and I've got this colour. I've got this multicoloured colour as well. Now it doesn't look like there's a lot in these, but once you start using it, a little goes a long way, and I'm wondering if I've got enough for a small summer top, because that would be quite nice in that colour for the summer, like a vest style top. So that's them. This is more of the yarn I get from Wonderwool for 50p when I was going. I haven't been for a long time. This is Shills-Adair. I've got some more of this downstairs. This is Cochineal and Logwood, I think, or Madder. No, it's Cochineal and Madder. I've got a couple of those. That's a jumper weight as well. What else have we got in here? I've got some vintage yarn that I picked up in the charity shop. I've got quite a bit of that. Nice pink colour. Another gold colour. You see, this bag here is good for, oh, that would make a nice pair of socks. That would make a nice pair of socks, wouldn't it? Yeah, this wool in here is just oddballs. So I can, there's another one of those Shills-Adair yarns. So yeah, this is just my oddballs, which I keep in here. So we'll put that away. So some of the oddballs that are in that big basket are going to go in this bag. And then in this one is just fabric, but it's a great way to keep it. Keeps it clean. Yeah, just keep bits of fabric in here. It's a denim and stuff like that. So when I worked in the wool shop and the fabric shop, it was a fabric shop as well. So I used to just spend my wages on fabric and wool. So yeah, that's what I've still got left. Do you know, I threw loads of it away as well, and I've still got loads. I had one of those things where I did a big deep purge and decluttered it and got rid of everything, including my furniture. Yeah, so this is another vintage case. I wondered what that was then. This is another vintage case where I keep all my 100% Jameson wool, as you can see there. So it keeps it all nice and clean. There's some hand dyed yarn there. This is what I want to use for my bluebell sweater. Either that one or this one here. Spindrift is rather nice. I was thinking of the Cuckoo Bray sweater, by Kate Davis for this one, because I got 10 balls of that, so that's a jumper weight. So yeah, I've got some Rowan Kid Silk Haze, this stuff, which I bought years ago. I was with my mum. My mum bought some and I bought some on one of our shopping trips. Some mohair, and this is 100% mohair, I think. Can't remember. Help if you put your glasses on, Hazel. You can see then. There's 102 metres in the ball. 70% mohair, 30% wool. I've got 2 colours of that, so that would make a nice shawl. Now I'm getting the hang of knitting with mohair. I don't mind knitting with that. That's that. So that's that bag. So I can fit some more 100% wool in there. There's a very, very old trunk that I found in the house clearance I did when we first moved to Wales. And this has more yarn in it. This is the stuff I got in the charity shop for 49p a ball. Super fine alpaca and wool, called Mist. San Moritz, 100% wool mohair. Something else. Blueface Leicester, which can dye. And then these big Icelandic balls. This one, Nordic. Copley Nordic. There's 3 of those. And then all of this Jacob here. So I was a very happy lady when I found that. Somebody gave me this. It's New Zealand wool. And it's 300 grams on each ball. It's from New Zealand, as I say, it's a vintage, and it doesn't say how many metres are on it, I don't think. I'll have to look that up on Ravelry. Where are we? Oh, 725. 725 yards on that one. So that's a nice yarn. I've got enough for a sweater quantity in that. And then I've got some Jaeger Angora, which I was wondering if I could dye to tone the red down, because it's a bit red for me. I've got this colour as well called Misty. Payton's, and that is 150 metres per ball, 70% mohair and then polyamide. So I've got them. And then at the bottom I've got some hand spun Jacob. So I've got some more mohair. This is the stuff I used in our spinning because it's far too bright to wear. Oh, and this is another wool that the same person gave me who gave me that wool. And this again is New Zealand wool. So, yeah. Right, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and get on with the rest of my day and go and try and make some sense of all this. And write it all down, make a note of how much I've got and how many metres, how many grams, put it into jumper quantities, and then when I want to knit something I can go and see what I've got, what colour I want to use. If it needs to be dyed I can dye it myself, and yeah, just generally get on with some knitting. So yeah, if you've enjoyed my video, please do like and subscribe. Please do hit that thumbs up button, and YouTube will promote my videos for me. If you aren't already a subscriber but you are a returning viewer, welcome. Well, please do consider subscribing to my channel, and yeah, it's helped me to grow my channel here on YouTube. So enjoy the rest of your week. I will see you at the weekend for a new knitting podcast, show you my works in progress and my finished objects, and I will see you then.